Good morning, everybody. I just came to you today to read the word of the Lord. So I'm reading 1 Corinthians. I'm going to start out chapter 1, verse 17. I pray that you get glory in the message that God has called me to give. All right, here we go. All right. It says, "For Christ did not send me to baptize, but to preach the gospel, not with wisdom and eloquence, lest the cross of Christ be emptied of its power." This is Paul speaking to the people in Corinthian. So he is telling them that he has called him to give the message not by his own intellect or wisdom that he has of himself, but to call the message that God has given him so that it's from God and not from him. So that we don't take power away from the message of Christ. So just as God has spoken it. It says, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing." Those who are perishing are the ones that don't believe. Let's keep going. "But to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent, and I will frustrate." I'm sorry, I apologize. Let's reread that. "For I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate." All right, so the people who think they know all of it and everything about God, it's going to send them frustration. Okay, let's go forward. "Where is the wise person? Where is the teacher of the law? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world?" To the people who feel like they know and they're wise in what they know, they're going to be made out to be foolish. All right, let's go forward. "For since in the wisdom of God, the world through its wisdom did not know him, God was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe." So he's pleased in our message that we give out. Those who are not philosophers or fluent in the law. Let's go forward. "Jews demand signs and Greeks look for wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those who God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolish of God is wiser than human wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than human strength. Brothers and sisters, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential, but not many were of noble birth. I was not wise in God's and the human standard. I'm not the president. I'm not the high priest. I'm just a regular person who God has called to give out the word of the Lord. And he uses me, and I don't mind. I don't mind being the foolish one that God uses. "But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast before him. It is because of him that you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us wisdom from God. That is our righteousness, holiness, and redemption. Therefore, as it is written, let the one who boasts boast in the Lord. So I know that when I give a message, I can only boast in the Lord, because this knowledge is what I'm coming from. When I read this Bible the first time, I didn't understand it. I felt like I was just reading blah, 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 blah. I didn't understand it. And because I didn't understand, and then I read and I started to believe and knew God and trusted in what he was, that he died on the cross for my sins, that he loved me, and I believed his message that I started to read. I started to understand. I started to grow and become knowledgeable, but knowledge because it is what Christ has given me in my spirit to help me to understand the word of the Lord. Not from my own self, but from him who lives inside of me. So know that you have been called. God's wisdom is inside of you. Many people, if you listen to many testimonies, they will tell you, I didn't understand the Lord, I didn't know the Lord, but I wanted peace, and I started to believe in Jesus Christ, that he died on the cross for my sins, and that's all I knew. And I read the word, and I didn't understand, but because I believed in him, he helped me to understand and read that word and come to the knowledge of Christ. So know that if God has called you out to be his vessel, that he has chosen you to shine out to even the ones who are wise. They're not as wise as they think they are, because God is our creator of all. So no, God is calling you to speak the word, to say what he wants you to say, and know that it is his message. It is his message that he speaks through you, because you are willing to be his vessel. Be willing to be the vessel so that God, through you, can reach other people. I just want to thank you. I pray that you get something out of this message. I love you, bless you, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.